5 worst companions for bok choy, why your bok choy isn't yielding enough. Bok choy is a gardener's favorite, fast-growing, nutrient-rich, and perfect for stir-fries and salads. But if your bok choy isn't producing lush, tender leaves, the problem might not be your soil, watering habits, or fertilizer. It could be what you're growing next to it. Companion planting is an essential technique that helps plants thrive, but the wrong companions can stunt growth, attract pests, and even cause nutrient deficiencies. If you've struggled with small, weak bok choy plants, it's time to take a closer look at their neighbors. Let's break down the 5 worst companion plants for bok choy and why avoiding them can lead to bigger, healthier harvests. Fennel, the growth inhibitor. Fennel is notorious for being a terrible companion for most garden vegetables, and bok choy is no exception. This aromatic herb releases allelopathic chemicals into the soil, which can stunt the growth of nearby plants. Bok choy, being a delicate leafy green, struggles to compete with fennel's aggressive root system. Even if your bok choy manages to grow, it will likely be smaller, weaker, and more prone to bolting prematurely. If you love growing fennel, keep it in a separate bed or container far away from your bok choy. Strawberries, competing for nutrients. Strawberries might seem harmless, but they are heavy feeders that pull essential nutrients from the soil. Bok choy requires a steady supply of nitrogen for leafy growth, and strawberries demanding nutrient needs can leave your bok choy undernourished. In addition, strawberries spread rapidly, creating a dense root system that can outcompete bok choy for space. The result? Smaller, less productive bok choy plants. If you want a thriving harvest, it's best to keep strawberries in a dedicated berry patch away from your greens. Tomatoes, pests, and space issues. Tomatoes are another bad companion for bok choy due to their tendency to attract pests that also target leafy greens. Aphids, whiteflies, and flea beetles love feasting on both plants, and planting them together creates an inviting buffet for these garden pests. Additionally, tomatoes are tall and sprawling, creating shade that can hinder bok choy's growth. Since bok choy thrives in full sun, it's best to give it an open space where it can absorb plenty of light without being overshadowed by tomato vines. Peppers, heat stress, and slow growth. Peppers and bok choy have very different temperature preferences. While peppers love hot, dry conditions, bok choy thrives in cooler, moist environments. When planted together, the difference in watering needs can create problems. Peppers prefer less frequent watering, while bok choy needs consistent moisture to prevent bolting. Additionally, peppers release certain chemical compounds into the soil that may slow down bok choy's growth. If you're trying to maximize your bok choy yield, keep it away from pepper plants and instead pair it with moisture-loving allies like lettuce and radishes. Cabbage and other brassicas. Crowding and nutrient depletion. It may seem logical to plant bok choy with its brassica relatives like cabbage, broccoli, and cauliflower, but doing so can actually hurt your yield. All brassicas are heavy feeders, requiring large amounts of nitrogen and other essential nutrients from the soil. When grown together, they compete for resources, leading to slower growth and smaller plants. Additionally, planting multiple brassicas in one area increases the risk of pests like cabbage worms and aphids, which can quickly decimate your crop. Rotating your brassicas and spreading them throughout your garden will lead to healthier plants and higher yields. How to boost your bok choy yield. Now that you know which plants to avoid, let's talk about what bok choy needs to thrive. The key to a productive bok choy harvest is nutrient-rich soil, consistent watering, and proper spacing. Bok choy loves loose, well-draining soil with plenty of organic matter. Compost, aged manure, and worm castings will provide the nitrogen bok choy craves. Watering consistently is crucial. Dry spells can lead to bitter leaves and premature bolting. Keeping the soil evenly moist ensures tender, flavorful bok choy. Spacing is another critical factor. Crowded plants struggle to receive enough airflow, leading to an increased risk of fungal diseases. Planting bok choy at least 6 to 8 inches apart allows each plant to develop strong, healthy leaves. If you're growing bok choy in containers, make sure each plant has enough room to spread out. Best companion plants for bok choy. If you want to encourage healthy growth, plant bok choy with companions that complement its needs. Lettuce, radishes and carrots make excellent neighbors as they don't compete for nutrients and help improve soil structure. Herbs like dill and cilantro can repel pests that typically target brassicas, offering natural protection for your bok choy. Additionally, alliums like onions and garlic deter aphids and cabbage worms, reducing pest pressure. Final thoughts. Avoiding the wrong neighbors for a thriving harvest. Growing bok choy successfully means being mindful of its neighbors. Avoid planting it near fennel, strawberries, tomatoes, peppers, and other brassicas to prevent competition, pest issues, and growth problems. Instead, pair bok choy with beneficial companions that support its growth and help keep pests away. By following these tips, you'll enjoy a bountiful harvest of crisp, tender bok choy all season long. If you found this guide helpful, be sure to subscribe to Botanical Bliss and share it with fellow gardeners. Let's keep learning and growing together. Happy gardening!